as hot as shit, it would lead to this. I'm happy, and I'm thankful to a lot of my friends who came up from Philly and a lot of my friends here in Williamsport. I'm also very nervous. It's like a nerve-wracking thing to be sitting there while all the other stuff is going on and you trying to like collect your thoughts. And like for the past couple of days, I just kind of like wanted to stay in the room and stay away, because what happens is like people put pressure on you that you really don't need. You know, I don't know. Hello? You got this? We're going to have some fun. But I thank God, man, that last year and a lot of times I do stuff like this, I always thank people for taking a risk, and I had to change that vocabulary because I don't believe that people take risks today with me. I believe that some other people believe in me and want to help me in my recovery. You know, I thank y'all for inviting a bum off of 26 in Dawson. You know, because we're talking about the path to self-acceptance, right? And you got to talk about the path to self-destruction first. Nowadays, it ain't popular to share about where you come from, because nowadays you go to meetings and people say it ain't about the drugs no more. Yeah, that's what I thought. You know, I still come to Narcotics Anonymous meetings because I don't want to get high no more. And that's like the main piece. I know a lot of people with 12 steps, 12 traditions, a conscious contact with God, use it. Because they forget that staying clean must come first. So I'm trying to talk to the person that got 24 hours or less, 1 day, 2 days. You know, I ain't up here to share nothing spectacular. You know, because I got with God. I said, God, look, I don't know what they want to hear. I don't know what they expect. But I'm talking to those two people anyway, so if I don't meet up to the rest of your expectations, I wasn't talking to you anyhow. You know, I come from Philly. And I started using drugs at an early age because I didn't like myself. We're talking about the path of self-acceptance. You know, there was that point in my life where I truly didn't like who I was, and drugs seemed to alter my reality, and I was able to create whatever I wanted to be. Even for a short period of time, because drugs don't last that long. But for the time that it lasted, I was able to be whatever I wanted to be, because I didn't like being me. I didn't like being dark-skinned. You know, any dark-skinned people? We some pretty motherfuckers now. Yeah. How you do that one? We can learn some of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I like to have fun, right? You know, one of the things that it talks about in our 11th step, that part of God's will for us is to laugh. Recovery is about enjoying living life on life terms. You know, a lot of times people be so serious and don't think nothing funny, and all you have to do is look at your life, you'll laugh at yourself. That's funny. You don't think nothing funny, just look at you. So, we have fun in recovery. I'm saying that to the newcomer who think that they need some type of chemical to put in their body to enjoy life. That you can come up in this camp right here, right? Just stick and stay, don't use, do what we do, and you'll have fun too. Right now, might not nothing be funny to you. Now, y'all remember wasn't nothing funny to us. But now, you know, we can laugh at a lot of things, and it's okay, because we ain't got to laugh at shit that ain't funny no more. How many times you sit at the end of the table just laughing because you was broke? Ain't had no money. Ain't had no dope, ain't had nothing like to add to the cause. And you would just laugh all day just for a small piece. Or maybe a chaser. So we can have some fun today. So I was using drugs, man, early in my life. I was early in my recovery. Shit, I was fucked up. You got that one? Here you go. I was fucked up. Look, I ain't slept all day. Ain't no telling what I might talk about. But whatever it is, it's going to help somebody. So I used for a little while, man, because I didn't like who I was. I didn't like the person I just grew with a lot of low self-esteem. I mean, like, if you grew up where I grew up at, which was in North Philly at the time that they was gang war, and I was the type of person that didn't have no heart, of my own nature. Because drugs had, like, taken over and made me become somebody that I really always wanted to be. Now, I ain't one of them guys that be lying saying I ain't like getting high, because I did. Getting high ain't like me. You understand what I'm saying? I used to like getting on, because that's what we called it, getting on. Every day, that's all my boy Al at. That's all me and Al did up in Logan. We got on. Every day. Sam back there somewhere, too. That's all we did was get on, man, and that was like life on life terms to me. Because where I come from, right, wasn't a whole lot of people like working. Wasn't a whole lot of people like taking care of their families. There wasn't a whole lot of nothing like where I come from. It was just like everybody was getting on, and all you seen was insanity, chaos, and confusion, and that's what I thought life was all about. So when I got to a certain age, I wanted like to participate in that type of process. We talking about the path to self-destruction first. See, I know where I'm going. But some people, you got to, bring them up to date with what you're talking about, because they don't follow you all the time. I use a lot of stuff, man. I use a lot of stuff. Now, look, I don't know how much stuff y'all use, but I use a lot of stuff. And, like, what happened was, like, in the beginning, it was fun for me. I had a lot of fun when I was getting on in the beginning. But towards the end, because that's why literature say when at the end of the road. See, I truly believe when you reach the end of the road, you don't go back. I don't know how you can get to the end of the road and want to go back. Then if you went back, that's all right. Maybe you wasn't at the end. Because there's the middle of the road, too. But at the end of the road, like when your back is waxed out, you don't want to go back to that stuff. Wherever we going in the front of us, like whatever is in front of us, whatever our fears are, whatever our doubts are, it's a whole lot better than what was behind us. We talking about being on the path now. So I got high, but like, I used to get high like, crack, right? Yeah, I thank God for crack. If it wasn't for crack, I wouldn't be here. If it wasn't for crack, most of us might not have been here. Just think of the word crack, just the name crack, just like, who would just name some shit that? Crack. That's what happened to all of us. We cracked. Broke. That's why on the basic text we talk about fractured personality. What is a fracture? A crack. I used that about 6 months. Didn't take long. I hear a lot of people say I did this for like 20 years and shot this for 15 and drank. No, you can't smoke crack that long. I don't care what nobody in this room say. You raise your hand talking about you smoke crack 20 years, your ass will evaporate. So, folks, crack got me here. Thank God. Thank you, God. Crack. I got here. I was in a treatment facility, and one of the first brothers that I heard share was Brother Khalil. That was almost 9 years ago. And I was sitting in the chumpy, and I was like sitting in the back, and I was like most people are, guys are, we come in with the macho image coming straight out of prison. I didn't believe nothing he was talking about. He looked too cool. He was dressed real nice, and ain't no way in hell he could have used drugs. And I sat back there, and I took his inventory, and the other guy that was sitting beside him, Reggie, was tearing to me, and I took his inventory too. And I kept taking the inventories, and I kept going to those meetings every week. Because it was something that kind of like interests me to keep coming back. Like for the first time in my life, I was like hearing some people talk about like not getting high. And even though I didn't believe them, I just wanted to come and check out the theory. You know, maybe there might be like a slight possibility. I mean, maybe they ain't, because they kept coming up too much. And at first I thought they were getting paid for showing up, but they were showing up all the time. And they was taking some time out to like rap the little guys like me on the side and like say, look, brother, like if you want what we have to offer, just come on out here and like make some meetings, man. It's gonna be all right. Then I used to like sitting out like, man, ain't no way I cannot like not get high off of something. You know, because I thought everybody got high. In the whole wide world. I mean, everybody, the fucking president, the vice president, the reverend, everybody got high. That's what I thought, man. I don't know about none of y'all. But I thought like everybody got high, man. But these guys was coming up there like every week saying like, you ain't got to get high, man. So I would listen to them stories and like, even though I couldn't like relate to a lot of the stuff that they was talking about because most of them shot dope and I ain't never shoot dope. Most of them was older than me, and I think I was 23 when I was in the facility. You understand me? I got clean, like, when I left there, I was 24 years old. So it's like you young, and you like 19, 18, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, think you got another run, you're in trouble. So I kept listening to those guys, man, and I kept going to those meetings. And one of the things that, like, I used to hear a lot of those guys say was, like, you know, you should relocate up there where this certain facility was at, which was in Norristown. And I went back home to Philly, right? I ain't got high since I've been back home to Philly. I believe, this is what I truly believe in my heart. If you don't want to get high, it don't matter where you at. That's just what I believe. It's the same thing. If you want to get high, it don't matter where you at. You can go to fucking Turkey and not even speak the language. But all you got to do is know the nod. And you can get high. So I kept going to meetings, and when I came back to Philly, I would go to meetings, and I did the same thing. I sat in the back, and I need to tell y'all, man, I ain't come around here for all this good spiritual stuff. I ain't come around here for a whole lot of changing and stuff. I ain't come around here for a whole lot of steps. I ain't come around here to build no relationship with God. I ain't want to build no relationship with me. I didn't give a fuck about it. I just ain't want to go back to jail. You understand what I'm saying? Now, I'm trying to tell you something. I'm a newcomer 1, 2, they God, like we don't care what you come here for. Just keep coming back. That's right. If you keep bringing your body and mind, I'll follow. That's what they told me. So, like, when I come up in here, I just don't want to go do no more time. That's all. And while I was doing it, it was all right. But after you get out and you experience a little bit of freedom, you don't want to go back. Because, like, the truth be told, I lived better in jail than I did on the streets. And I didn't even want to come back to the streets because I didn't have nothing out here. You know, I was up in there, I had my little store, I had my little hookup. Everybody used to come down and rap them in. They needed some stuff, and I had the stuff for them. And I was the man up in there, but I knew when I come back on the streets and shit, cigarettes ain't money no more. You know, you be in jail, you have like 20 cartons of cigarettes, you're rich. You can't go downtown and sit with 20 cartons of cigarettes. I get that shirt. So I didn't have nothing. I was scared when I came back out. And I say that's why I kept going to meetings, even though I understand what they were talking about. And even though I ain't believe what they were talking about, I just kept going anyway. Until I heard my story. And I heard somebody share about like me. You understand what I'm saying? And you keep coming around here long enough, you'll hear your story. And check it out. When you hear your story one time, you'll start to hear it every time. When people get honest anyway. You know, because what comes from the heart reaches the heart. You can be up in here a fake fraud and a phony for so long, but eventually the truth will come out. Yeah, that's why I don't holler get honest. You can lie about your clean time. You pay. You'll pay. You can be up here and say you got 3 years. We believe it. The only place you come, we believe any motherfucking thing you say. Yeah. Fix the mic. You just want me to sing to you, don't you? Is it all right now? Is this better? Can y'all hear? Can y'all hear me now? All right, cool. Because this, was too close to my mouth. I ain't into that. It ain't part of my fourth step. So can y'all hear me like way back there? Could y'all tell me where I was at before I was doing this? The story. Me coming to meetings, hearing my story, hearing it every time, identifying with similarities rather than differences. I started moving from the back of the meeting to the middle of the meeting. I started moving from the middle of the meeting to the front of the meeting. And my home group back in the day used to be at 16th and Girard, so we used to sit on the floor. We used to sit under the table, around the table, behind the speaker, on his head, on his lap. You understand what I'm saying? Because, that started to become a little bit more important to me. You know what I mean? And, even though, I'm still trying to tell you, Jack, I was still on it, not going back to jail mode, right? So I was coming around here and I was doing a whole lot of stuff. Because I was doing a whole lot of stuff. I was doing a whole lot of women. I was doing a whole lot of, doing everything outside of me to make me be who I thought I wanted to be. Because I was scared to look at who I really was. And I thought things outside of me validated me as being a man. So I went through the phase of the women. I went through the phase of the clothes. I went through the phase of the hair. Anybody who know me know that I used to have so many fucking hairstyles at one time that, when I just cut it all off, I was just all right. You got it? Ain't that some fun stuff? They be like, that shit really be real. She be really she really be doing that stuff. All right. I had to start doing some stuff, man. I was around here for 5 years and I always share with people, man. I stayed clean those first 5 years just on God's grace. I wasn't really participating in nothing. I was speaking at a lot of meetings. I was speaking at a lot of conventions. I was speaking at a lot of speaker jams and anniversaries and marathons, and I got so caught up on my name. Just people calling and asking you to go places, and you really ain't doing no work. You understand? Because anybody can talk this. This ain't hard to do. This is real easy. Come in here and everything is a fucking cliche. How you doing today? Just for the day, I'm fine through the grace of God. I keep coming back, sick of stage. All that, how you doing, man? I ask you all that stuff. So, I was I took some steps. I thought anyway. You take some steps. You can take the generic brand, the no frills brand. I'm talking when you start doing some real step stuff. When stuff in your gut just don't feel right. When it feel like you're just rotten from the inside out, even with time clean. Even with some nice jewelry, with some nice clothes. Even with a nice little hoopty, a nice little job, a little bit of money in your pocket. You still feel like shit. Even with going places and people saying they get a lot out of what you share and you so special and you so inspirational and don't know on a lot of nights I would go home feeling like dirt. listening to the same tapes that everybody else was listening to, and I was the only one not getting nothing from them. Because I know half the stuff I was talking I wasn't living. Oh, y'all say, get honest. Y'all say the path of self-acceptance. I ain't as scared as I used to be. I used to be scared to tell the truth because I was worried about being judged. Addict. What the fuck? Addict. What? You understand what I'm saying? Like, addict. Well, I don't care. You gonna talk about a person anyway. So I'd rather live right. I'd rather keep you guessing, wondering what he doing wrong. Because at one time you didn't have to guess or wonder. You understand what I'm saying? People say he was a hoe, I used to get mad. Fifth step stuff. You is a hoe, man. People say he wasn't no good, he got a good message, but he ain't living nothing. He got a good message, but he's oh, thank you, bro. I'm still working on the trust issue. It just feels so good to be free. I don't know how y'all, you got to get to a point where you feel good about being free. I think one of y'all chumpies was free to be who you are or something like that. That's right. We're talking about self-acceptance, man. I started buckling down, and I started going back over those steps again. And I started looking at the first step, and I started looking at the second step. I took a deeper commitment in 3. 3 was a mean step, Jack. You know, sometimes my third step was like a generic introduction to God. I had to be a little bit more specific the second time around. I had to understand if I made a decision to turn my will and life over to him, give it to him. You got it. Whatever you do with me, that's why anybody who knows me most days, I ain't saying all days, but most days, I don't complain that much. I don't complain that, he got that. He got that, but being human, it talks about we're wander off course, and sometimes even when you got faith, you still be scared. You know, people say, them spiritual people. Man, even with faith, you still be scared. But you know what you do? You get back down there, you buckle up, and you try to, get more faith. You know, just because I got going on 9 years, people put an expectation on where you're supposed to be, man. This ain't like an easy trip. We talking about a path that got plenty of bumps in it. Hurdles, rocks, and all that stuff usually is created in my own mind. Those are the hurdles I got to get through, the stuff that I create in my own head. Because God don't present no problems. Oh, he presents the solution. Because look, I believe we're all born to be on a certain path. Triangle of self-obsession talks about it. You know, some children seem to outgrow, but we kind of seem stuck. Right? And once we got stuck, we got lost on that path. Right? Stuck into the I want what I want when I want it. And if I can't get it, I'll go get it by any means necessary, regardless of who I got to hurt to go get it. I ain't the only one that's been there, am I? So I got off the path right there. I believe we're born to be what we are right now, doing his work, living right. But you hear a lot of people saying, look, this is what I was supposed to be doing all my life. I don't think I was born an addict. I hear people say that. They call their kids addicts and shit. Little Petey looks like an addict. He's just a kid, man. You all right? Okay. I got off course, man. And through the program of Narcotics Anonymous, I got back on it. I like the way I'm living today, because I like to give updates on today. You know, I could give you a long drug log and stuff like that, but it's like about how I'm living real good today. I'm living like the best. I'm doing some things in my life that I thought I could never do. You understand what I'm saying? Through practicing some principles and prayer and seeking through prayer and meditation to like allow God to do some stuff in my life, man. Some days it's very scary and some days it's very lonely. Because what happens when you start trying to do the right thing, your friends change. That just happens, man. I just don't like hang with people who I used to hang with. I really don't want to be associated with people who ain't really trying to do the same thing I'm trying to do, but I will talk to you. But it will be brief. You know, I'm really just trying to, like, live right, man, and through some principles and doing some things in my life. And, like, you know, I ain't come out with a win for the live people who know. It's like evidence. My friends know. They know how I'm living, man, and it's like, you know, it's a scary thing to, like, be doing the right thing after being so messed up most of your life and even most of your recovery. You know, I'm just used to messing up. I'm just used to things not going right. I'm not used to, like, things being good in my life. That's why the 10th step talks about we should, like, nurture those good times. We're not used to those things, and, like, when stuff go good for me, I think it's a setup for something bad. And then when you make enough meetings and you hear people say, like, you know, your time going to come and you on the pink cloud now and you kind of like get scared and you get nervous and you like mess it up because you think it's going to be messed up anyway. But not this time. See, not this time. I'm allowing, like, God to do some things. I'm not letting my disease, like, creep in there and bother me like as much as it used to. We talking about up-to-date stuff, man. We talking about the path to self-acceptance. I feel good about who I am today. Real good. And, like, I could come to meetings today, like, with my head up. You know, I don't have to come to meetings today and look around the room and say, dang, I was with her. I slept with her, you know, all that. Any of you guys can relate to that stuff? Men lie like a motherfucker. It's all right, your woman ain't gonna leave, you tell the truth. That's like, baby, that was back in the day, baby, you know. Boy, that Bryan sure a funny motherfucker. He just playing, baby. But I don't know I wasn't the only dog in here. And you can recover from that. But, you know, like, we got a tired old lie, once an addict, always an addict. Once a dog ain't always a dog. Once a whore ain't always a whore. Once a trick ain't always a trick. Once a thief ain't always a thief. Once a liar ain't, we gonna smash all those lies. You understand what I'm saying? You can change. I'm talking about evidence in my life, things that I'm doing. And, you know, a woman, she don't like me talking about my relationship and stuff, you know, because she low-key. But she's a big part of why my last year has been so special. And, like, if she don't find nobody in the next couple of hours, we be celebrating a year being together. You understand what I'm saying? So we ain't going to dance and shit. Got to get my groove on. Yeah. And it's like just like doing something different, like stepping out there on fear, because for a lot of years I didn't think like I could be with like one person. That thought was scary. One person. All the time. Same person. You understand what I'm saying? I know some guys out there, and some women can relate too. We talking about when you start to accept yourself, man, you're able to do some things that you thought you couldn't do. And even though it's scary, because I told her this morning, I said, I think I'm a woman trapped in a man's body. I share stuff like that. Because I'm like that real sentimental, sensitive person And she be like, Bob teaser, for real. Ask her. And like y'all see the mask. You know, because a lot of days I'm afraid to let people like get too close to me because I think you might hurt me. So you see the mask and you see the stuff that like I want you to see. And sometimes when I look like I don't want you to come near, it's because I want you to come back, but at the same time I want you to come too. And I'm like confused about like who to allow to get close to me because it's like most of my life I've been hurt, not just by women, men, family members. So like, you know, I'm still working on those issues, man. We talking about like the fourth step, talking about the longer you stay clean, issues start to surface. Right? That's what it say, right? Issues start to surface, so I'm starting to see through like going over things with a sponsor and talking to my sponsor, you know, periodically that I still got issues that are surfacing and I need to still like bring those walls down. But like, you know, with her, it's like I'm like that real sensitive person. And like sometimes she say I'm too sensitive because like, I don't know, it's like, you know, when you with somebody, it seems like what they say to you bother you more than like anything else. And she don't like say nothing negative or nothing to me like that and stuff. It's like, you know, I just take everything so serious. You know, because I be so scared and shit, like, you know, like I just want to try to be so perfect, you know what I mean, that I just don't want to like, you know, for real, what? I'm crazy, baby, I'll change. You know what I mean? I just want to like do stuff like that, man. You know what I mean? And like, you know, this last year has been so helpful because like, she's taught me like patience and tolerance, like through watching her do some stuff, especially with a child. You know, like if you want to like learn something about patience and tolerance, just watch a woman with the children. And I sit back and I say like, damn, I would have probably killed her by now. You know what I mean? But she just like, and that teaches me to be a little bit more patient and tolerant in my life. You know what I mean? Because sometimes I just don't have it sometimes. Even with like new people and I be in meetings and sponsees and like people who just want to come and talk to me and people who call me up on it. We talking about self-acceptance. We talking about getting real with who you are. So that's what I'm talking about, me, man. And sometimes like I don't have it, right? I'm that good. I'm the good speaker and share at the meeting and raise my hand and drop the bomb, all of those crazy stuff, man. But like sometimes I just don't want to like spend like that extra few minutes like talking to somebody who really needs to just somebody to listen to them. I'm just talking about being up here, being real. And like those are the things that I'm learning this year. Like, you know, sometimes I don't like answering the phone. Because now modern technology done hooked up caller ID, and now you like screen who like you want to, you know, so-and-so. Oh, man, I'm not going to answer this. Because I know you're going to take me around the world, and like I got to like understand that some people just don't know how to get to the point. That's the truth. And I got to remember when I was there, when I talked about everything but what was supposed to be talked about. I want to set you up first. I want you to kind of be on my side first before I drop the dilemma on you. And I got to understand, like, when people call me, that's the same thing that they doing. And I got to, stop, being so, nasty sometimes. We talk about self-acceptance. I know I got an attitude problem. Y'all talking about the path, man, to self-acceptance, coming up here telling the truth. You know, if it ain't spectacular, then that's fucked up. But we talking about being real. And I'm learning those things through, being with somebody who has it in their life. And just watching somebody and, getting with some good friends. If you got some good friends, keep them. You know, I said, Shahida and them and Winnie and my buddy Anthony and those guys, man, it was y'all make me feel good ever since I've been here. I was sitting over there, I told my girl, I said, you know, we like President Clinton and Hillary. We get to sit at the main table. You know what I mean? I was out mingling with people and shit the president be doing and shit. How y'all doing over there? How you like the budget and shit? This is some exciting stuff. If you knew, this is something I'm trying to tell you. When I was that bum, walking through the door, standing up here was not on my mind. You understand what I'm saying? I mean, I went to the first convention I went to, 89, at the Adams Mark Hotel, the Greater Philadelphia Regional Convention. And I remember standing out there, man, and I was seeing them people speak, and I was like back there, had my little nappy hair, my best outfit on, my best, a pair of white sweatpants and a T-shirt. That was the best outfit I had. And y'all told me to come. Because I ain't had no suit and stuff. I didn't have no dress shirt. I didn't have no shoes and no pants and all that old type of stuff. And they say, you ain't got a hair. I say, I ain't got no money. Don't worry about it. They say, come on up to the convention, man. Make some meetings. And I mean, I walked in there and like I said, oh my God. And I'm telling you, that's what turned me on. So if you new and this your first convention, Jack, boy, this is a turn on. Man, I say, boy, and you know, like as you keep going to conventions, and you say, like, man, one day, boy, I want to be up there. I want to thank Williams for it, for giving me that shot. Because I always thought something had to be wrong with you. You know what I mean? Because, you know, you had to be sick or have one leg or some shit or half an arm to, like, do a banquet or something, or, like, open a meeting or a spiritual breakfast. You know, you couldn't, I thought you had to have something other, I thought you had to have something else wrong with you but the disease of addiction. You understand what I'm saying? I just come straight up in this camp right off the streets, man. You understand? And I'm like a regular old guy. I'm cool. And y'all gave me a shot. I mean, y'all say, like, look, they called me, like, in June. This November. They call me in June and say, we would like you, this is so-and-so Spawn. He said, I'm an addict named Spawn from the Williamsport area of Narcotics Anonymous. I mean, we were considering you for, like, being the banquet speaker at our convention. I have to ask you some questions. I thought it's Columbo some motherfucking body, you know? How much time you got? I told him how much time I had. You got a sponsor? NA sponsor, yeah, I got an NA. We got an NA sponsor, yeah. You just make NA meetings, yeah. You sponsor NA people, yeah. Your home group, NA home group, yeah. All right, you pass. I say thanks. Y'all don't know how much that like just touched my heart. You know, just to be considered to do something. And it was deep because 2 weeks later they asked me to do the banquet at the New Jersey convention, which just happens to be tonight. And y'all called first. And I thank God. Look, I'm trying to tell you something. Trying to hold my composure. The girl be teasing me because I get to crying and shit. That's a new me. That's part. When you start having self-acceptance, man, you start getting in touch with some feelings on the inside, and you realize, you know, you ain't got to be no bitch to cry. Hold on. Well, I came up here, man, I don't know how many years ago, and my buddy Al brought me up here to do anniversary at the Step and Tradition meeting. And a Monday night grace. All right. Thank you, baby. And I came up here and, like, you know, y'all treated me good, and I had, like, never been to Williamsport and never seen the mountains and never had the hospitality, man, and the people just treated me so good. They, like, offered you food because Al and them ain't had no food in the house. They had some water and some starch and shit in the refrigerator. Damn, I'm going to eat, man. I had to buy my own, you know, but anyway, you're my boy. You all right, you all right. They treated me good, and, like, you know, and then y'all asked me to come up to do a learning day, I think, and then y'all had, like, a unity thing, and then y'all asked me to do the first convention y'all did, and then y'all asked me to come up here again last year, and then y'all asked me to come up here again, and I say this meant more to me than Jersey, because I'm telling you something, man, I used to get so much caught up in that ego and all that image time stuff, and I used to say, like, damn, like, you know, all my boys gonna be up Jersey and shit like that, and all my friends gonna be up there, and like, nobody's gonna be here for me and shit, and when I got here, man, I ain't got none but love. You know what I'm saying? And look, and the real truth, and like the real truth is y'all who got me to where I'm at. Not all the people who I heard on tape. Not all the other people who I spoke at conventions with and all that stuff. It was y'all. Sitting in those little dusty rooms down 22nd and Huntington, 16th and Girard, 8th and Luzerne, Starlight Group, Pulaski and Man, all those 8th and Girard, all the meetings where it'd be so much smoke in there and shit you couldn't even see who was speaking. And like, you know, I had to come like back down to earth with that stuff. Because a lot of times you can get caught up on thinking like, oh, them guys, I didn't even really like know them guys for real, unless I go somewhere and see them. It's y'all guys who made me who I am, the people who I see every day. Like in Philly, the people with 30 days, 60 days, 90 days, that keep coming up to me and saying, Bryan, like, keep doing what you're doing. I love you. I get so much from you. When I go through my stuff, they call and check up on me. When I was in the hospital last year for a couple weeks, man, they was calling me. And people was coming up there. I mean, like, my room was stayed full up. And I mean, like, I just was, like, so overwhelmed with, like, the love because, like, you can be around here a while and still think people don't love you. That's how fucked up and tricky our disease is up here. And it'll lead us to believe, like, what we doing ain't worth doing. And it'll tell us, like, look, man, you might as well, like, go back, man. This recovery stuff ain't paying off. It works town-wide. Check it out. It tells us that. And, like, my head tells me stuff, man, but I was in the hospital. They was coming up there. They was bringing food. People was leaving me money for TVs. I was getting over like a mother. You know, people was like, you need any money? Yeah, you know. I left the hospital like I was working while I was in there. I had $200. I'm still an addict. But they was coming up and people was calling me, man. And I know they got down Baltimore and shit, and they made like a conference call, and they was all down there, and they called my hospital room, and I talked to like 20 people. They called me from up New York. People from Philly called the most. And check it out. It was the ones who I didn't think that liked me showed up. And the ones who was my boss didn't see him. What I'm trying to say, please don't pick and choose where your help gonna come from. You never, ever know who God is gonna use for you, man. And like that's why it's real important that we not like judge each other. It's hard. It's real hard. But I believe if God, we say it's a God-given program. We say that God is the ultimate authority. 12th step, we receive our recovery from the God of our understanding. And I have 11 steps inside of me that tells me that God's will and learning what God's will is for me. How can I dislike you and like God? How can I not love you and love God? That just don't make sense. You have to love what He creates also. We were all brought here for a reason. Sometimes we have to sit back and we have to we know why are we here, why you use drugs. No, you better realize why you're really here. We ain't really here just because look, God is using us for a reason. He takes nothings, turn them into something, so we can go back out there and grab some other nothings and turn them into something. It ain't about just making meetings all day long. It's about getting out there doing something. It's about like talking to that bum sometimes that you don't want to talk to. Talking to that stinking ass person that sit beside you on the bus sometimes. You understand what I'm saying? Talking to people that you know, and I'm telling you, like, I used to catch the bus a lot, and I'd be on the bus, and I don't know what it is, but when you it'd be like, I'd be on a bus, it'd be like 20 empty seats. And somebody comes sit beside me to talk to. It's just something it's 11-step word, intuitive. Can't be explained. And look, when you start working some principles in your life, I'm trying to tell you about practicing principles in your life and start the prayer and meditation process. If you ain't there yet, it's okay. You'll get there. But I know today, it's just what I know I got more to do. You got some time, Clinton. You got more to do. Your job ain't to be around here telling everybody else what they should be doing.
Your job is to be like doing what you're supposed to be doing for yourself. You know, I ain't into like telling people what they need to be doing. I ain't into like telling people how to recover. Why? Literature say recover ain't with different degrees of sickness, so we all recover at different rates. So people ain't going to be where you want them to be. Leave them alone. People pick up and come back, hug them. We be there talking about he picked up again. What? Literature. Welcome to the Narcotics Anonymous pamphlet. The most natural thing for an addict to do is use drugs. That's natural. So what we got to do, we got to teach them something else. Give them something different. Don't reject them. Don't give them that, damn, you did it again shit. Say an addict not using is in an abnormal state. So we got to love them harder. Hug them harder. Talk to them a little bit softer. And I know it's hard. I talk about sometimes it'd be like, it's just one person every week. That's like, damn, she got enough fucking just for the day keychains to like make a fucking window shade or something. She got about 50 basic texts. I be thinking, I said, damn, she must have sold the book. Because, you know, her anniversary comes, I'll get another book. But keep coming, baby, keep coming. You know, because we love her anyway. I got a friend, he can't get a week, man. But he make more meetings than most people I know. We got to love them anyway. Talks about recovery and rehab. Talks about that. A relapse is that jarring experience. And it says, look, it says this. I ain't making it up. That relapse is part of some people's process. That's part of some people's process. I don't know why people get high. You know, we say I don't know why. Look, man, when you dealing with the feelings and you ain't got a foundation, getting high ain't that hard to do. I hear people say using ain't an option. Use a goddamn lie. Using is always an option. What is an option? A choice. What does the first step say? We have a choice. Going on 9 years clean, Jack. A lot of days it'd be like, look, if I just smoke one of them blunts, why I can't just go to the bar? I don't want to deal. Why I can't watch basketball like other people do? Why I can't watch football like other people do? I got a disease. Say, look, boy, you up there now. You got some time. You at the big boy stuff, man. Look, man, you can probably just like smoke weed and drink 40s. You ain't got to fuck with the crack. Just don't mess with the crack. Am I the only one that thinks like that? So you say people use because they want to. How many days was it out there when you didn't want to get high and got high anyway? We talking about a bad disease, cunning, baffling, powerful, insidious, waiting to trap. Got more steps than you do. Got more traditions than you do. Got more sponsors than you do. Make more meetings than you, sometimes sitting right beside you. Disease, bad boy. Look those words up. Cunning, powerful, baffling. Look them up. Tricky words. So look, we got to love people up in this camp, man. You ain't got to like me, but love me. You ain't got to like me, but help me. You ain't got to accept me, but help me. You understand what I'm saying? She been rolling with me, ain't she? Give her a motherfucking hand. Well, she gonna go home, tell her husband, hon, it was this crazy guy up there picking with me. I like to enjoy life. One of the things that it says in our 12th step, and it works out why some of us have a sparkling sense of humor, which may reach somebody in despair. And the fellowship has changed over the years, and I believe because the information is more now. See, it ain't like it used to be. And check it out, it ain't going to never be like it used to be. We're talking about the diversity of the addicts that's coming in here today, man. Things are like, matter of fact, I think it's getting better. Getting better, man. See, like some people like people to be stuck. Don't want them to move nowhere. But see, like when I got here, we just had a basic text. Now we got desk for the day. It works how and why. So now people come in here and they getting to work, man. Why? Because let's just say if you want what we have, not if your sponsor wants you to want what we have, if you want what we have to offer and you are willing to make the effort to get it, then these are the steps that make our recovery possible. You ain't got to wait a year to take no steps no more. You're going to tell people, look, you're going to tell people that the steps are the key to freedom. And look, it'll unlock the chains because self-acceptance, it said, begins with the steps, right? Like, we got this for you, but we're going to hold it just for a year. You just be miserable. You just be clean and crazy. You just be out your mind. You just be sick. But when a year, you can have this. Get another sponsor. It's about life and death. Now, I ain't trying to step on no toes because that's what they told me when I got here, and I stayed clean for that year. Not because they told me to do it, because I didn't want to do nothing anyway. All the fact I come to me is for is some coffee and some pussy. I'm telling the truth. I ain't care about nothing else and to borrow a couple of dollars every once in a while. I ain't come around here for all this, so you ain't had to tell me nothing. I wasn't doing nothing. I ain't want to go back to jail. What this step stuff got to do with me? What that got to do with crack? Crack ain't in the book. Don't say we powerless over crack. Addiction, disease, mind, body, and spirit. That's why it's important that you get with all three. You come around here, you can dress up the outside. That's just working on the physical part. Hey. You look real good, man. You been dressed up garbage can. You can work on the mental, man. Go to school, get a BA, MA, AA, PA, AA, associate's degree, AD, I mean. Not AA, sorry, scratch that. I'm sorry, Spawn. I'm sorry. But in the same token, we ought to be grateful to that fellowship. The basic text tells us that. That's where we come from. We don't deny that. But you can get all those things mentally. You can get all those degrees you want. That ain't going to keep you clean. The most difficult aspect of our disease to deal with is the spiritual aspect.
Right. Come on, Bryan.
Talks about that in the first step. It works how and why. Because that's the area what affected us the most. We talking about the path to self-acceptance is like going inside of yourself and finding out who you really are. Finding out why you exist. Finding out what your purpose is. And on a lot of days, I'm still searching because the pamphlet tells us it takes a long time to achieve self-acceptance on a deep level. But check it out, Jack. It's a whole lot better now than it used to be. I don't need nobody outside of me to validate me no more. I don't need that no more. You know, I have a God in my life, and I'm going to tell you something, Jack. Even when I roll by myself, I roll with the best. Sometimes I get scared on this journey, and sometimes I don't know if I'm doing anything right. And sometimes I hear it tell me no matter how much you get from me, it tells me I ain't saying nothing. I got a disease that attacked me while I'm standing here. My shit talking to me now. Ain't nobody getting shit from what you saying, man. Because your head, I'm trying to, anybody ever been up here? See, because some people who ain't never done this don't understand this. You understand what I'm saying? They think this stuff is easy. And they think like, you just come up here and because people say you're going to drop the bomb tonight, you're going to kick it. Man, I'm scared. You just give me a hug, man, and say, look, I'll see you later. Because I'm scared. This is scary stuff. Especially when you tell it ain't scary if you're going to lie. But if you don't know what you're going to say, because I ain't practicing, I wasn't up in the mirror. I wasn't up there with the books. And I wasn't up there doing that. I was just nervous. come on, baby, let's go. You know, she I'm sweating this shit. I'm ready to just go. I'm ready, come downstairs, man. It's like they don't understand that stuff, Shaida. They just think this stuff come automatic. They say like, oh, you did this a lot. Every time I do this, I'm going to tell you right now, if you ain't nervous, something wrong with you. You don't get hooked on it. Don't get hooked on this image, man. This stuff ain't all what it's cracked up to be. Right? You crack again. They picked that one up. But it's like when you start to like grow on the inside and some stuff on the inside start oozing and stuff, and you start doing some things right, and you start being a better person, and people call you for relationship tips. Bryan, they calling me. How do you do it? I don't know. I just pray a lot. I just try to maintain my focus a lot. I enjoy the time that I have. People know I see my lady on the weekend. That's it. She works a lot, and I work, and we don't see each other the Saturday and Sunday. And like between that time, and she got to juggle to do a lot of things just on 2 days. So some days I may see her one night, and I may not see her the rest of the weekend. So people say, well, how do you do it, man? I pray. I ask God to help me be the person that I am with her when I ain't with her. That's what I do. And when I feel like doing some crazy stuff, I tell her and I talk to her. And I call some other people and I talk to them. You know what I mean? I'm tired of risking being with an asset for a liability. Ain't that some crazy shit? You like that one, baby? It's fun. I mean, people be like, Bryan, you're so happy. I am. I'll tell you something. I'll be telling her, I'll be like, man, I'm just happy. I'm just, be happy. Just get something. You happy? I mean, a whole year. Woo. I'm going to get a keychain for that. They got any around this motherfucker clean and relationship keychain. I'm just a person, man, who just enjoys life. I enjoy recovery. I go through a lot of changes. People say, why you don't never share drama in meetings? I say, because by the time I get to the meeting, I got a solution to the drama. If I'm in drama at 7 o'clock in the morning, ain't nowhere in hell I should be waiting till 7 o'clock at night to share about it. I need to come with the solution. I need to come with the juice. And if it's still a problem, I need to talk about how I tried to get the solution, but it ain't worked, and I'm coming here just to get a little bit more. But my life is good, man. People know me, man. I'm like, God, look, it's good when you got witnesses. Because it's easy to go out of town and share a good story. I could go anywhere and share some good stuff, and everybody be like amazed at Bryan. But when you got witnesses who watched you, see, people know I ain't that secure. You got some people who think you be the same person in 96 that you was in 93 and ain't seen you in 3 years. Ain't made a meeting in 3 years. I was talking to this girl the other day at a meeting, and she said some old crazy, I get offended now. I said, baby, that's the old Bryan. I don't know what you talking about. That ain't me. I ain't seen you in 3 years, and you going to come up with some type of conclusion about me. You going to talk about me. And, sometimes it's just hard not to, knock somebody out. That stuff gets tested in recovery. You hold on. Because it's hard. People think they forget your jail story. They forget you from the streets. They forget at one time you ain't care about nobody, not even yourself. And they forget that you can go back to that type of thinking at any time. Go ahead, baby. So anyway. anyway, some people, Steve told me they was going somewhere to watch the fight. So he said, the fight started at 10. He said, Brian, we trying to watch the fight. So close at somewhere close to 10. And because it ain't going to be but like a minute. Soon might punch him in the chest, the fight over. But we can do stuff like that. Go watch. How many of y'all grateful for just small stuff? We up in a hotel, looking like cash money, looking good. People trust us not to take TVs and shit out the room. You understand what I'm saying? People serving you stuff, bringing food to you. Would that be enough? How are you, sir? I mean, stuff that little small stuff. Y'all, look, don't get locked in all this, Gucci shit. I'm talking about that somebody just being polite to you. Asking how you doing, soap, water, toothpaste, socks, drawers. Ooh, drawers. Ooh. I'm talking about small stuff. Because you can look all dressed up on the outside, have on some fucked up drawers. I mean, how to feel good? You just change your drawers every day. I'm talking going back, Jack. No, do you remember? They say those who forget are doomed to repeat. So I remember a little small, I get up in the morning, Jack, and I go to the drawer. Y'all got to see. Y'all, look, I don't know. I think something wrong with me, y'all, other than the disease of addiction, because I go look at the drawers and stuff. I'll be like, damn, I got some drawers. I got some socks. I got a choice what kind of shoes I want to put on, what color, what animal. Stuff like that. You understand? I'm trying to say, man, just wake up in the morning feeling good that you ain't got the obsession to get high. That when you walk out your house, you got a sense of purpose. That you're going somewhere. You ever walk and stand in one spot, turning around and couldn't go in either direction? You ever just walk around with no destination? Just walking, just hoping you run into a motherfucker. Hey, y'all remember that stuff? Now you walk out the house, people just say, hey, love and respect. How you doing? I'm talking little stuff like that. I need to let you self-acceptance. Brian, look, this is not me today. I'm talking about in here. People who know me when I go to meetings now, I go to meet on these same baggy gray sweatpants all the time, damn near. I don't care. I get off work, take off my work clothes, and I put on these same baggy sweatpants and the same baggy sweatshirt. And I wear that shit 7 days a week if I want to. Put on some dirty sneakers. I don't even wear no gold most times I go to meetings no more. I just want to go as I am. Because at one time that validated me as a person because I didn't like me. I told you I didn't like me. So the more stuff I had, the more I outshine, I showed out. And people take notice and people would like me. And I thought if I was just plain old Johnny Butchie or whatever stuff, then you might not like me. And then it was I had to get the girls. So if I wore all this stuff, I could get the girls. Then I ain't got to get the girls no more. So I just go to the meeting with my little baggy sweatpants on and my little gray sweatshirt, and I can just sit in the meeting, and I still feel just as good as I do as I am today. Self-acceptance. That's a nice piece. Y'all couldn't have picked a better thing for me, because anybody who knows when I speak on pamphlet meetings in Philly, that's all I speak on. Self-acceptance. That's my favorite pamphlet. And I kind of like who I am. I really, do you like yourself? Yeah. Do you love yourself? Yeah. Shit, boy, that's a good feeling, man. So I want to thank y'all, the committee over here, the committee over here, the committee over there, and mainly the committee up there, Jack. looking out there, man, and seeing brothers like Mike, man, with like 20 years, man, and like knowing like that, like he's a part of my life, and like when I see him, and he makes me feel like somebody. You know what I mean? He makes me feel like I'm special, you know what I mean? Because sometimes, you know, people with time and we think like we don't mean nothing to them, man. We mean something to those guys. And them guys be hugging me, and they be like, you sharing the night? And I say, yeah. They say the banquet. They say, yeah, I'll be there. Moved Bashir, drove all the way from up Jersey, the Jersey convention, in the fucking rain last night, 12 hours. He called me his baby boy. He just come to hear his baby boy today. You understand what I'm saying? My buddy, James drove all the way from the Jersey convention to come all the way down here to give me some support. You know, people do stuff like that, man, and those are the little special things that touch my heart. And Ivy and Linda, they all came up. My buddy Sonny, I love you, Sonny. They came up here, man. I'm just telling you, it's a good feeling just to be loved. Because I got a head to tell me that nobody don't like me. Anybody get like that sometimes? There's a lot of love here, man. Hopefully, I said some things to help somebody. But like I started out, I was talking to the person with 24 hours or less in 2 days anyway. I encourage you to keep coming back. This is probably the best thing happening for an addict in the world. All you got to do is keep coming. Check it out, boy. You'll be up here too one day. I ain't no different than nobody sitting out there. I ain't no spectacular addict. I'm not the great recovering addict. All I am is just a plain old ass addict that's willing to do some work to change in my life, and people notice the changes, and they take the time to like invest in you, and they ask you to come. I don't know what everybody's expectations was about me coming here doing the banquet, because this is what I say. I say I gotta go there, be spectacular. You know what God say? Brian, is just a dressed up meeting. Just a regular meeting, Brian. You just talking to addicts, Brian. Some of them maybe had little dresses and gowns on and suits on, but it's just a meeting, Brian. He just has to keep me focused on it's a meeting, Brian. They ask you to come here because they know what you got. You don't have to be no different. You ain't got to be nothing other than what you are. And when you try to be spectacular, you'll probably be up here lying anyway. Just get up there and tell the truth. And I did my best. Thanks for letting me share.